Well, again, Rhonda, thanks for putting this on this morning. As you guys can see on my screen here, this is the dashboard or the home page of Touchpoints. You can log on to this from any computer, anywhere, any device, anytime. It's really flexible that way, any browser, so you don't have to worry about that. From the home page, you can access anywhere in the software and do anything that you need to do. You can upload lists of your clients or prospects or contacts. As it says here, that's done with the CSV Excel file. So you can just load those in. You can download and then upload from your system that you have, or if you have a list of prospects that you're working on, you can attach those and upload them. So whether you got 5, 50, 5,000, it doesn't matter. You can just load in that file quickly, names, numbers, what group you want them assigned to, everything right from the upload. You can also add new people in one at a time. So I can say Jane Doe, and I could skip over things. I could put in a phone number for Jane. I can add her to groups and campaigns. You can add to multiple campaigns. You can add to multiple groups. And you can also take them off. And again, we'll talk about that in a little bit and how that exactly works. But none of the information here is mandatory. You can take notes about people. You can have client histories with people. Remind yourself to call somebody back in a week or two. You can do a lot of things with that. But again, pretty simple stuff. It's just data entry right there. So there's nothing flashy about it, just getting your information in the system. Once that's done, we can come over here into building campaigns and viewing your contacts. This is where you're really going to start to see the value of what the software is going to do. So if we click on build campaigns, it comes in here to our campaign builder. You can see I've got a lot of these campaigns already built. 1-year follow-up, new clients, different follow-up sequences, birthday campaigns, reaching out to people on the holidays, if they're a new consultant of yours, whatever it might be, you can build these out. Anything on the right you see is actual touch point that would go out to them at a certain point in time. So the SMS icons, those are obviously text messages that would be scheduled to go. Anything with the photo behind it is an e-card that would go out to them via email. You can also do just a standard black and white email, attach some of your own pictures or links to videos, that type of thing. And then also the phone icon, that's an alert that would alert you it's time to make a phone call to that person. And so you can build these out however you would want to build them. Again, very simple stuff to do. You just would add touch points on. So right here you can see we've got 4 text messages and 1 phone call for a 1-year campaign for a new client. If I wanted to add something onto that, I hit add touch points, and I can pick a custom template that I've created, create an alert for myself, an email or a text. If I want to do a text, I would click on that, click on the text message, and type out my message. I can say, hey, and then if I type exclamation point client, you guys can see right there, that's going to insert my contact's first name into that text message. Just following up, how are you? I can type out whatever I want. And then I can say, all right, I want to delay this out, and I want my new consultant to get that 345 days after they become a new consultant. And I can just add that right onto my campaign. And that's on there successfully. It's as simple as that. You can see it was added on perfectly. Now if I close this out, you can see I've got 1-year new client, but now I've got that extra text message added on to the end of that. So I can build out whatever sequence of events I want to reach out to my people. Again, whether that be a new consultant on my team, whether that's a prospect that I'm trying to bring on to my team, whether it's a customer of mine that buys product from me, whether it's a friend of mine, it doesn't matter. I can build out specific campaigns to reach out at specific times throughout the year. So I'm getting the right message to the right person at the right time, but it's done in a very personal way, because if I have assigned 50 people to this campaign, or let's say I've assigned 1,000 people to my holiday campaign that sends out a text tomorrow to wish them a happy Thanksgiving. The cool thing is 1,000 people are not involved in a group text message. It sends out 1,000 individual texts, and everybody gets their own name in the text, so it feels like, wow, Tyler just texted me personally, or Rhonda or Kayleen, or somebody just texted me and took the time to do that, even though you were able to do that for your entire team or client base with 1 click of a mouse. And I'll stop there for just a second and open it up to you guys if you want to unmute, if you have any questions. Are there any questions on that I've gone over so far as those campaigns and how they would work?
Go back to the screen you were on. Okay, so just for clarification, where that thing says name, it's not really a name. It is the name of the group that you're sending it to.
It's the name of the campaign that you've built. And
Okay.
So like here, this is a birthdays campaign. So if I wanted to assign my birthdays campaign to thousands of my contacts, I can do that with one click of a mouse, and I'll show you that here in just a second. And then everybody would be assigned to that birthday campaign.
Okay.
Great question there. Any other questions on there at all, you guys?
Are you loading each person one by one? Because I saw on the first page it said upload list. So are we uploading from our phones their information, or are we actually inputting their information in one by one?
Yeah, so you can do both of those, Leslie, either or, and there's not a right or a wrong answer to that. If we go back to the home page here, you can upload a list, and again, that's just done with an Excel file. So again, thousands of people at a time, no problem, takes a few minutes. Or if you just met somebody and you wanted to put them in, you can just add new client and do, basically a one-off, type in whatever information you want about that person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so, like I said, not a right or a wrong, just whatever your personal preference is. And most of the time, our users will do both of those depending on what type of information they're getting into the system.
So what I love about this, if I'm hearing it correctly, is not only can I have my Avon sales the people, my customers, my sales reps, I can have my family, I can have my church group, I can have whatever I want to have in this, and just mark them in a group and build the campaigns out any way I want to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In case in point right there, Rhonda,
Wow.
If I go into my View Clients tab right here, you can see, because I use this for a lot more than just work stuff, as you just kind of brought up. I can go in here, and for instance, if I show a group, I can go in here and say Cottam Fields. Okay, that is the name of the subdivision that I live in, and I'm like on the homeowners association in my subdivision. So I use this to communicate with all the people in our neighborhood all the time about meetings that we're having or when their dues are due for the year. So I can just click on this and say, show me my group. And you can see down here, all of my Cottam Fields people. So all the people in my subdivision just pull up. And if I need to get a message out to the people in my subdivision, I click that, select all button, and select all 30 people. And then I'll do a group message right here in the middle of the page. I'll click on that. And I can do a text or an email. If I wanted to do a text, I would say morning, and then I would type exclamation point client. Again, it says it right there. That's going to insert everybody's first name into my text. And they say, just a reminder of our meeting this Friday, be there. We're discussing blah, 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 whatever we're going to go over. And then I could even do a custom send time. I could say, all right, well, it's 8 o'clock in the morning my time. I don't want to send this out right now. So I'm just going to wait, and I want to send that out at 10:30. And then just hit send. And at 10:30, that's going to send out 30 text messages for me automatically. But like I said before, the cool thing is nobody's going to be involved in a group text message. All 30 people in my subdivision are going to get that personal text, and it's going to say, morning Gus, good morning Brooke, good morning Carly, good morning Brock. And they all feel like I just got that personal text message from them, but I did it with literally a few clicks of a mouse and send it out to 30 people. It's the same thing if you send it out to 300 people or 3,000 people. So yeah, it can be a powerful tool for all of your business needs, as far as what you were saying, Rhonda, your team, your consultants, your sales reps, your customers. But I use it for everything: church work, my neighborhood stuff, personal stuff. Nieces, nephews are in there with their birthdays, so they get a birthday message from me, all those type of things.
Okay, Tyler, I have one question.
You bet, Edna.
Is there in the system any training? Like if I have a question about how to do something?
You bet. Okay, so with that, question, which I'm very glad you brought that up, Edna. So there's a couple things that we have. Up here in the top left corner of your screen, you can see there's this question mark with a circle around it. If you hover over that, it's tutorials. If you click on this, this brings up a bunch of short little tutorial videos. Okay, they're all just a screen flow of things in our software, of what you can do, how to do it. So how do I add and remove people from groups? How do I take notes and set alerts for people? What if somebody asks me not to text them anymore? How do I send a text? How do I send a group message? How do I pre-schedule? All of those things are in there. You can see they're short little videos, under 2 minutes, most of them, okay? So you can just watch those and it just walks you exactly through what to do, what to click on, how to do that. So you have that full library of video tutorials in the system, as well as every single person who is assigned or gets an account with Touchpoints, Edna, you are actually assigned a mentor. And I would be that mentor for you guys as I am for Rhonda. And Rhonda can probably attest to that, that I am kind of your point of contact with Touchpoints. So the great thing is that we will go through our program with you, we'll train you on it, we'll make sure you understand it. And that's not just a 1 or 2 meeting type of thing. If you need multiple meetings, multiple trainings, multiple help, you can get it, and you always get to talk to the same person. You don't just get forwarded to an 800 number and say, hey, this is Edna. I had a question, I need some help. And they're like, okay, well, what type of business are you in? I'm Avon and I'm this, and you're having to explain yourself every time. But if you need help, you'd get directly to me. You can text me, call me, email me, all those things. And so there's no disconnect. But I know you, Edna. I know what business you run. You and I have talked on multiple occasions about what you're trying to accomplish, the gaps in your business that Touchpoints will help you fill. And so that ongoing support and training will be there as long as you need it.
Thank you so much.
No problem. That was a great question. Any other questions on there at all at this point? Okay, if there's not, we'll just continue pressing forward and we'll stop again for questions if they're coming up. So I just showed you how to build out the campaigns. Let's jump over here into view clients, okay? Because this could get kind of fun. This is where all your clients are listed. Everybody's listed in alphabetical order. It just goes down and you can see it shows you their names. You can see I've got a lot of first names. Once I start getting my better information, so first name, last name, cell phones, emails, whatever group I have them assigned to, whatever campaign I have them assigned to. Okay, so you can see I've got most people on my birthday campaign. And that's one that will just automatically kick out. I have a text message with a little picture on it that goes out to them on their birthday. But you can have them assigned to multiple groups. You can see that one's on a birthday and a 1-year follow-up campaign, multiple campaigns, multiple groups at any given time. And up here, you can filter different things out. So I could say, as I showed you with the cotton fields in my neighborhood, I can filter out different people. I could say, hey, show me my managers that I work with. Boom, and that filters out some of my managers that I work with, okay? And so you can filter out these different groups to, again, make sure you're getting the right messages to the right people. And you could say, all right, these are my managers, and do a group message to them like I just showed you, or you could add that group of people to a campaign. So it's not just one message, but it's messages for the rest of the year. So right here, I could say select all my managers. There's 52 of them in here. And right here on this drop down, add them to a campaign. So I could say add these people to my Touchpoints Keeping in Touch campaign. And I can click on that with one click of a mouse. Those 52 people would be assigned to that campaign, which would then trigger out all of those specific messages that I built in that campaign, whether it's 2 or 3 over the course of the year or 1 every month through the course of the year, whatever that is, it's literally one click of a mouse and that communication is taken care of for that period of time. And what this does, you guys, is it helps you. So everybody's got a different process for their business, okay? And you're trying to take, whether it's your customers or your reps or whoever it might be, your prospects, through a process. If you sign up a new sales rep, you want to make sure that they get A and B and C done before the first week, and then E and F and G done by the first month, and you're taking them through these things to make sure that they become successful. And so you can kind of automate a lot of those things to say, hey, perfect timing that you're coming on. We've got some special things going on. So excited to have you. Remember to get this done, by tomorrow. Sign in and fill out your information here. And then the next day they get another personal text. Hey, Edna, again, so excited to have you on the team. Have you done this yet? And it's automating this stuff so that you don't have to go in there every day and remember to send out a text and remember to send out the email and have a checklist of who that's going to and who's not going to and what part of the process they're in. It's literally a one click of a mouse and it's done for whatever course of time that you want it to be done for. And so you can get that done. You can filter out who's on what campaigns. You can remove them from campaigns, add them and remove them from groups, all right there in the profile. And we'll get, let's see here. I'm going to pull up a profile. I'll just pull up my profile so you can see, because I just do a lot of messing around with stuff. So if I search in Tyler, obviously you can search for anybody, put them in here. And alphabetical order, so I'm going to be down towards the bottom. There I am, Tyler Turley. Okay, it's got my information. If I go into the profile, okay, this is pretty simple to understand, you guys. This is actually, looks like a smartphone. These are actually working apps in the phone. So if you click on the profile, that gives you their profile information. You can change it there. If you go on the text message, you can see that gives you a log of all your text messages back and forth with that person, just like it would on a phone. And you can type a message right there. You can even attach files and send it to them. You can schedule messages to go out at a future date. So if I wanted to schedule something specifically for Tyler, click on this, hey, just following up. I want to calendar that for December 13th at 1:15 in the afternoon. I could do that and schedule an exact message to go out to that person at that time. Funny, quick little story about that scheduler right there. I ran into a friend of mine. This is a few months back. I hadn't seen him for a long time. And we started talking. He told me he was going in for some back surgery in like a week and a half. We talked about it for a little while. And as soon as I got done talking to him, I went into my Touchpoints. I got into his profile and I scheduled a message just like I just showed you. I did a custom text. I said, hey, Larry, thinking about you this morning. Hope all goes well on your surgery. I picked the day he was going in for his surgery. And I picked a send out time of first thing in the morning. It was like 7:15 or something like that to send him a message. Well, a week and a half or 2 weeks went by and I forgot that he was going in for surgery that day because we all got a lot of things going on. But literally like 7:16, a minute after, I get a text forwarded to my cell phone because I wasn't at work. I wasn't by my computer. Forwarded to my cell phone. And it was Larry saying, I can't believe you remembered. You're such a stud. So thoughtful. Appreciate the text. And I texted him right back from my phone. I'm like, oh, yeah, you bet. I was thinking about you this morning. Hope it all goes well. But again, it's just a funny little story that really happened to me just recently of the power of what Touchpoints does. And again, why it was built to help build and maintain those relationships with your customers and with your contacts. Statistics and studies show you guys that people have a very easy time leaving just a product. If they just feel like they're a name and a number and they're just buying product, usually they're in and out. They'll leave to find a cheaper price or a better product or different things. But those same statistics and studies show that people have a very hard time leaving relationships. And that's what we do. That's what we focus on, is building those so that if there are questions, if there are things that come up, people don't just leave in the middle of the night to go find something else or think that the grass is greener on the other side. But they will reach out, they talk to you, they know how to communicate with you. They've been getting messages and communication from you. They know that you care about them as an individual, not as a name and a number on part of some team somewhere. And it really does make a huge difference, and that's what we focus on. That's why Touchpoints was built in the first place. If you focus on maintaining and building the relationships, everything else falls into place and goes the way that it should when you're doing that the proper way. So any questions on that as far as the contacts page that I just showed you that way?
Well, I had a question. Okay, so say, using your example, you heard that Larry wasn't having his surgery. How do you go back in and cancel that?
And change that? Good question. Yeah. Yep. So you'd go in there, and if I went in there and found out that Larry wasn't going in for surgery, then I could go in here. Let's see. I'll do it on mine. So I'll show you an exact example of how that would work on here, Leslie. If I went in there And scroll down here to mine. And let's say I scheduled a message out. And let's calendar this one for this Thanksgiving. Boom, send time. We'll leave it at 1 o'clock and I submit. Okay. So it's event scheduled successfully. And let's say that again, a few days from now, I'm like, oh, I don't want to send that out anymore. I can go into this calendar app right here. This is a 12-month moving calendar. So it's a bird's eye view of what's going out to that client and when. Okay. So I can just say, oh, right there, November, I can hover over it. November 24th is that message. I don't want to send that out anymore. So I just click on that and I can delete that specific message on there. And there might be 10 of them riddled through the year here that are going to be going out, but I can just select one and delete. Does that make sense there?
Yes.
And so that way, again, you can stay up on that and make sure you're not sending out messages to people you don't want to send them out to.
Got it.
Great question there. Any other ones? Okay, very good. I want to show you guys just one or two other really cool features that come in handy quite a bit. One of these is a new feature, and it's in here in our groups and keywords. So if I go in here into building groups, I can create a group to put people in. So you can see all these are just groups: staff, referrals, American family, current clients. I can do that, but I can also create a keyword. And what a keyword means is that I could type anything in this box here, any word, and then if somebody texts that word to me, then this keyword reply would automatically go back to them. And I can use this to have people text in to get more information from me. I can gather their names and their emails. It gathers names, emails, phone numbers, and dumps them into specific groups for me. So case in point, Rhonda was out speaking at an event last week, and we did this with her. We said, hey, let's create the group, and we're going to call it Nashville. And so we created a group called Nashville, and then we said, hey, thanks for texting in. You know, click on this link to get us your name. And then we forwarded them to a certain website after they'd clicked the link, and we did that. And so I've done this already, you guys. I created a keyword in here this morning, and I did it for this meeting this morning so you guys could see it. So I created a keyword called Avon right here. I just created it right before our meeting. So if you text in Avon to my number, and I'd like you guys to do this so you can see it real time how it's working, you'll automatically get this text back from me. And then you can click on that and get me your name so I know who was on this meeting this morning. And then it will redirect you to our website and go through that. So what I would like you to do, you guys, is text Avon, and we'll see this real time, and you can see on my screen when people are texting in how it looks. And my Touchpoints number is right here in my profile. It's 435-201-6855. So the people on the call, if you'll just, again, text in Avon to that number right now, and you'll kind of see how that works, that it will automatically respond with that keyword response. And then if you'll click on that link and just put in your name, and so I'm getting them in, they're coming in right now, and I can see them, and I see that because I'm getting them on my phone, okay? But on my new messages here, you guys are getting automatic responses to your cell phone. So if I click on this, you can see, so Ron DeVos just got one, and then I got an unknown person because they haven't filled out the form yet. There's another one that just came in. And what that's doing, you guys, is automatically putting you guys in my Avon group so that I can follow up with you. As soon as you've clicked on the form and entered in your name, it will update your profile with your name in there and gets that done. And so you can do that for all sorts of different purposes, whether you're at an event speaking, whether you're wanting to just do an advertisement to something, you put something out in the newspaper or in a magazine, or you're at a vendor fair somewhere and people are walking by all the time and you're saying, hey, just text in Avon to this number and you'll get, you know, a free lipstick or whatever it is. You can do that and collect a lot of information in a really short period of time for event-specific type of things. And then immediately when that's done, so if I go in here right now to view clients, and I'm going to say, all right, show me who's in the Avon group so far. And there was nobody in there when we started this call. And right now you can see that we've had 4 people text in so far. So we've got Rhonda, Susan, Kaylin, and we have this unknown so far. They haven't filled out their name yet, but I've got their cell phone. And so I could click on this, select all 4, and do a group message to all 4 of you and say, hey, thanks for texting in, whether that's, you know, right now or after a meeting I did, or again, after a event that I've put on, or a vendor meeting that I was just at where people were walking by. And you can communicate with these people extremely quickly and in a very personal way. And so that keywords feature is actually a brand new feature. It was actually built for our new version of the software that's coming out next year, but it was compatible with this version, and so they've released it for our new people coming on to get those keywords on there. And you can have an unlimited amount of keywords in our system. So it's not like you only get 2, but you can have as many of those keywords as you want or need to use to get the job done that you need. Any questions on that at all?
What's the number again? I didn't get anything back. Maybe I typed it in wrong.
Okay, so number on here, again, it's right there. So 435-201-6855. And again, if you just text Avon into that number, then it will put it right in that grouping, just like I was showing you.
And so can you use that same, like if I wanted to use Avon every single time?
Yes, and that's the cool thing about it. And I just got yours that came in there, Leslie. That's the cool thing that, yes, you could have Avon as a keyword. Rhonda could have it as a keyword. Because we don't build on something called short code, where short code, you have to buy a specific keyword for that number, and then once you have that keyword, nobody else in the world uses that keyword. We built our software on a completely different premise, and we use long code instead of short code, which allows you in your specific account to have any keyword you want because it's tied to just you. It's not shared with a bunch of other people. And so everybody on this call could have the keyword Avon, but they're texting Avon to a different number, to your specific Touchpoints number that's assigned to your account.
Tyler, you may have mentioned this, but I might have missed it again. I know this from our previous conversation, so I'm going to say it, and then you can say what it is. So you get a local, in your area, local number, and that number then is forwarded to your cell phone and or to a web.
Yes.
To your Touchpoints account.
Yes, absolutely.
Back office or whatever.
Absolutely. So every account that signs up with Touchpoints, they get a local telephone number assigned to them. And you can pick, when I say local, I mean you can pick anywhere in the country, any area code that you want. But that way, when you text out to people, it doesn't come from those random 5-digit numbers. When you get those texts, you're like, okay, well, it looks like a machine just texted you. It comes from an actual local number. So when you got the text back from me, when you texted in Avon, you can see that just came from my local 435 area code. And that's what people like to see. That's what they expect to see if they feel like you're texting them. And so when you text out, it comes from that local number. People can text back in, and you can respond to that text from your computer, from your cell phone, from your email. You can manage that however you want to, and you can turn those features on and off in your back office. So you can be fully mobile with the software anytime you want. And it goes back to that person via text from your Touchpoints number. So it always keeps that same thread going on. And all of our numbers are also voice enabled. So not only can you text on them, but if anybody calls that number, you know, if you send out a message to all of your clients or all of your team and said, hey, just a reminder of this, and somebody said, man, I really needed to talk to Edna today, what would they naturally do? They'll probably just call that number right back because you just texted them on it. And so when they call that back, you can have that incoming call routed to any phone number that you want to. So if you want it to ring to your cell phone or to an office phone or to an 800 number, wherever you want to route it to, you can do that. And then you can pick up the call and talk for as long as you need to. So both text and voice enabled on all of our numbers. Any other questions on there? Appreciate you bringing that up, Rhonda. Well, we've been on here about 30 minutes right now, which I promised to keep it to about 20 or 30 at the beginning. There are some other neat features that you can do in there. You can see the alerts that will kind of like alert you to things coming up, kind of like a to-do list for the day and what's coming up in advance. Schedule those things out, basically like a checklist for you. It's a very powerful tool that you can have in there to make sure that people aren't slipping through the cracks as well. But one thing I'll go over real quickly, is kind of, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, okay, this looks cool. I think it could save me some time and help my business a lot. How much does it cost? So as far as cost goes, we try to take the guesswork out of it for anybody who signs up with Touchpoints. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Is we have what we call a mentor program. Okay, and so if anybody who's on this call today that you've texted in, if you're interested at all in Touchpoints to say, yeah, I would like to find out a little bit more details about it, see exactly how it's going to apply to my business, cross some T's, dot some I's, go through those things, we can get you signed up for the mentor program. What that mentor program is it's a week-long program, and it costs just a couple bucks to get you an actual number leased from one of the major carriers and assigned to your account and all set up to use. And during that week, you will get full access to our software, and you'll get 2 sessions with one of our mentors. Again, I'm kind of here with you guys this morning, and Rhonda asked me to put this on. I would be your mentor, and we would schedule one-on-one sessions to go through this. And I've been through this with Rhonda and Susie, her assistant, already, where we'll go through things. We'll say, okay, what do we want to accomplish with Touchpoints? How do you want to reach out to your client base? Let me show you how this works exactly, and walk through it so that you know exactly how it does work and how it does not work, and how to accomplish certain things. And at the end of that mentor week, if you say, Tyler, this is awesome, I need this, I'm excited for it, then great, we will send you our agreement and you can sign up for it and get things done. If on the flip side you say, hey, you know what, I like this and I appreciate your time, but it just doesn't do exactly what I need it to do for me and my team and my business, then that's fine too. We part as friends and nothing lost, no big deal. But that way we are making sure that you know what you're getting and that you see the return on your investment and that that value is there for you. Instead of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole and me trying to sell you something that you don't need or isn't going to work for your business, that's just not how we do things around here. And so we make sure that it fits for everybody. That way on our website, you can't even sign up for Touchpoints on our website because we do everything one-on-one through one of our mentors to make sure that it is a good fit and we aren't getting people into something that they don't need or don't want. And so I would be able to follow up to you as far as the cost on that. It varies from account to account. You know, when we signed up Rhonda, we signed her up at one price and then we made some adjustments on there. She needed some additional space for some of her contacts. So we went and we customized it again and we got it just customized to her. So most people, you guys, fall in somewhere around $100 a month. In that ballpark is what it's going to be. So kind of when we go through this, I would have that number in the back of your head as far as, hey, it's going to be somewhere around there. Again, give or take some, depending on how many contacts you have, how many messages you need to be sending out, those type of things. But we customize that throughout your mentor program to make sure that, again, it fits in your budget and that you understand what it is. And you're saying, hey, if this is $100, then I need to make sure that it's worth $100 to me and it's going to, you know, save me more than $100 in my time and my efforts and my money, and it's a good business decision to make. Does anybody have any questions on that at all?
Tyler, I do.
Okay.
You said you've already tweaked Rhonda's.
Yes.
Say I take it, and right now I have 1,000 leads.
Okay.
What if down the line I have 2,000, 3,000? Can it be changed as I go?
Absolutely, it can be. And that's why I was saying we tweaked Rhonda's around a little bit because we started her out with a certain amount and then we said, maybe we need to put a little bit more than that in there. So we did it like the day after I think we got her signed up on the original one. But yes, we can tweak that for you, Edna, as we go on the fly. And again, that's the cool thing about what I talked about before, where you have a rep who knows your business, has that relationship with you. So you're not just calling into some random person saying, hey, I've got 1,000, but I need to bump up to 2,000. What's that going to cost me? It would be as simple as shoot me a text, Edna, and just say, hey, I need to bump up to 3,000 people. What's the best deal we can get on this? And I'm right on it. And I know what we're dealing with and what we signed you up for and what we didn't. And I can help you do that really, really easily.
Edna and Tyler and everybody on here, let me just say that my dream is that Avon, we are recording this for Betty to see it. My dream is that Avon would see the value in this immediately, how this could really help our business, and that they will somehow talk with Tyler and make some kind of a big deal so that we can get it out make it affordable for everybody. Because like our brand new representatives that are at ambassador level that need this, they can't pay $100 a month because they're making nothing yet. So if we could get some kind of a big group discount, or if this can be integrated into our current system some way, Avon maybe buy this from Tyler or something like that so that we could have it in some way, it would be fabulous. But for now, I don't care what Avon does, I'm going to do this. I didn't even take the free week trial. I said, sign me up now. So that's, and I mean, I just saw it last week, and I really don't have any campaigns built or anything going yet, but I saw such value in it. I wanted to get it out to you guys as quick as I could.
Yeah. And so I appreciate that, Rhonda, and I would love to work with you all on here, like I said, and go through things individually with you to make sure that we are crossing those T's and dotting the I's. And so I've got, obviously, a bunch of you already texted in, so I would say that just to kind of reiterate, if any of you are interested in kind of going through that. So I've got everybody in here, Aileen, Edna, I don't know if this is possibly you, Leslie, here. I got an unknown number on there, so it's 9163 is what it ends in, the 704 area code. But I will reach out to you, and we can do it and just talk through things and make sure that it would be a good fit. And if you want to do that mentor program, I'm happy to set you up and do that with you, and make sure that we get you set up the proper way and cross the T's and dot the I's. And we're not just a wham bam deal here and hope it works, but we will actually make sure that you know what you're doing and that you're excited about it and that the value is there for you in the business. So I will reach back out to you. You guys have my number, which you texted to. You can call me on that. You can text me on that. So don't hesitate to do that if you have any questions on things. But I know that the holiday's coming up here very shortly, here in a few days. I'm actually going out of town tomorrow with my family for the holiday. And so what I will do is if anybody wanted to get set up and going on it today, we could do that. Or I would almost suggest just waiting till after the holiday, first part of next week, and then we can just have a full good week to go through things and make sure that we're doing it the right way. So we will go from there. Does anybody have any other questions for me at all while we're on here today?
Well, thank you for saying that, because that's what I was going to ask. Can we wait? Because Thanksgiving's here, and my family, I do everything for my family for Thanksgiving. I just don't have time this week.
Well, I hear you, Edna, and that's why I bring it up that
I appreciate it.
Yeah, really wants to get it done. I'll make sure we get them taken care of. But I think just wise business would be, hey, go spend time with your family and friends for the holiday. Don't need to worry about this stuff right now, and then we can get together first part of the week and make sure we get you taken care of the right way.
Thanks so much, Tyler. I do appreciate this, and I'm going to assume that it's okay for me to send out this recording to the people that I intended to invite to the presentation.
Absolutely. I'd love them to have it.
Invited. So this is going to be able to be out there and people can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. And as a matter of fact, Rhonda, will you email me a copy of it as well? I would love to have one.
Will do. Okay. Thanks,
well,
everybody.
guys. Thank you.